Thanks very much, Dave and Colin. Nice to see everybody and having the opportunity to speak to you. I own Ascensor. We are an integrated conversion agency. Before I explain to everybody what that means in practice, I'd just like to leave you with a thought. Why have a website if not ultimately to generate leads or sales? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we do and what we mean by conversions. So a conversion is basically something that you can measure. For us, in our world, it's how we can generate and measure leads, sales, a saving. If we do a digital transformation exercise where we're able to reduce the costs of a business, that is classed as a conversion. And also in a lighter sort of way, visibility and awareness. But ultimately, for us, everything is all about data, and our mission for businesses is to help them to generate more of what good looks like. And most often that is generating leads or sales through their websites or applications or any sort of digital platform. So, who are we? We're an 18-year-old agency. It was our birthday on Sunday. We're award winners. We are up for 4 awards in the Northern Digital Awards, which hopefully we get shortlisted for on Friday, tomorrow, for this year. We're most importantly ISO 27001 certified for information security. So we've just gone through our audit again for the 6th year, passed again with no non-conformities. So our team is continuously trained and practiced in terms of looking after people's data. ISO 9001 for our quality and management systems, and also Cyber Essentials Plus, which is another security standard. We're HubSpot CRM partners, so often when we're developing software or working with customers in terms of lead generation, we use HubSpot CRM in the background to sort of manage data and handle things like nurturing sequences and automation and that sort of things to generate loyalty and engagement. We're Google partners for advertising. And what do we use all of that stuff for? So, or what does that sort of mean in practice? Well, we do data-driven design. So we don't just design things because people think that might be something that's nice. We take a very much data-driven approach to producing design work that's going to generate user engagement. So when we get a new task or a new customer, often we will always go through their Google Analytics, etc., to see what's worked and what hasn't worked before. If we're looking, we believe in website evolution rather than revolution. So often there's no real cause to create a new website. You can evolve the existing site to get it better and better based on user behavior. If a business comes to us and they do need a new website because it's too old, it's going to cost too much to change, often what we'll do is test the ideas for the new website within the current website. So we know that we're going into that design process and new build process with, like, facts and research, so that we know it's going to do better. We provide websites, applications, and software. And as I've sort of alluded to, a lot of what we do is, from a data perspective, is around user behavior. Why have a piece of software that just sits there where you don't know whether it's doing what you're expecting your users to do? Always business owners are too close to their businesses, so that what they think is good and nice and is going to work is not necessarily what the customers or their prospects want or are going to engage with. And surely that is the most important thing. So by understanding what users are doing within a piece of software, we can evolve it. The user behavior monitoring that we do, I've got the Hotjar logo here. We also use Microsoft Clarity to essentially screen record completely anonymously users within websites and software to see where the sticking points are. We are obviously driving traffic into the site so that we can get the data to be able to see where those sticking points are. And then we do A/B testing. I've got some examples towards the end of the presentation on that. It's a process called conversion rate optimization. So if we look at user behavior within a website and we think that people are getting stuck. A lot of people are hitting the contact form, but they're not submitting it. A lot of people are adding to basket, but then they're going somewhere else before proceeding through to checkout. Whatever the sticking points may be, we'll come up with a hypothesis where we'll say, well, if that website actually did this on this page, Is it going to convert better? Is it going to perform better? We will then create a layer within a piece of software to basically direct a small percentage of their website traffic into our layer. So a different version of the page. That enables us to see whether our idea is better than what's already there. And we start really small, maybe 10% of the traffic. And then as we start to see it working, we crank that up to maybe 50%, sometimes 75%. So we can demonstrate unequivocally to the business owner that if their website was changed to our idea, then it's going to perform better. It's going to deliver more conversions for the existing marketing spend, i.e. their acquisition cost is coming down. So therefore, there's absolutely no reason why that website should not be changed to suit the idea. The advantage of this is we're not making changes to a website that might end up diminishing conversions and costing the business in terms of the development work. So even though our test is going to add a little bit of additional cost into the process, it absolutely mitigates risk. So by mitigating risk and then making the change to the website, the business owner knows that they're going to get a better result from it. But most importantly, our cost is basically a cost neutral service because we're delivering more for the spend that they've made with us to do it. So it's really, really powerful stuff. So we do continuous UX evolution. So websites and software should never stand still. In our world, things move very, very quick, and so does consumer behavior. And it's always important to understand what is going on so that we can continuously make software better and better. And then as we get more engagement in the site, we have data, particularly from a B2B perspective, going into something like HubSpot. We're able to nurture those prospects to ultimately turn them into a customer. And we do funky things like call tracking. So we use pools of telephone numbers. So each website session can have a different phone number. So when that user clicks to call you, we know exactly where they came from, where they were on the site, what they'd done, and that's all pinned back to this phone number, which is all then pulled through into Google Analytics. So we're able to do lots of, I guess, offline things to pull data into that online world, so we can present a complete picture of what's going on and what's working. Okay, so why do we do all of this? We do it all to deliver a competitive advantage for our clients. I believe that online conversion should be a business's number one focus. If you're networking, if you're doing social media, if you're doing any form of digital marketing, ultimately you're going to bring them through to a website, even if it's just for due diligence, to get them converted into that next customer of yours. So all of these activities, I believe, are absolutely massively important, and we do them all. But they're there to bring somebody into a place where they've got everything they need to be able to become your next customer. We do all of this stuff is all about minimizing cost per acquisition, getting cheaper and cheaper leads and sales for our clients, and building relationships through our nurturing and or email automation sequences and stuff like that. All of the work that we do is about reducing the risk of change. We see some horror shows where, a business owner might suddenly have some like middle of the night wake up moment to make a drastic change to a website, and all of a sudden it fails to engage users as well as it did before. It can have a detrimental effect to things like search engine positions and stuff like that. So by testing things, we're able to massively reduce risk and therefore demonstrate a path to getting better and better with the software. And it's all done through data. So there's some examples I've got here. So I'm going to show you some specific examples of CRO split tests that we've done. But these are just some performance examples. So in 12 months for Bathrooms Direct, delivered a 11,000% return on ad spend. We helped their turnover grow from 500,000 to 4 million. 35% was online and 65% was phone orders. It's really important for an agency like ours to be able to look at that full picture. Whatever marketing is going on, we need to be able to demonstrate our value. So that's why we want to get the data points from everything, including phone tracking. We help them increase their order value by over 30% through various different on-site mechanisms. And we did all of that by running 14 14 tests, as well as the digital marketing. So 14 of these CRO tests, 8 of those were winners. So 6 of them, they didn't actually help the website to convert better. So they were discarded at minimal cost, but 14 of them, sorry, 8 of them were winners, so 6 of them weren't. So those 8 tests were able to contribute to a massive increase in performance. Loans company, Loans. So we help them to achieve loan conversions increased by 435%, 385% return on their advertising spend, an increase in repeat customers, which is really important. You know, it costs you a lot of money to acquire your first customer. It's really, really easy to engage with them and deliver great service, but make sure that they come to you the next time they want to buy as well. And that helps you get your average customer acquisition costs down. For these guys, we had 16 winners from 23 tests. Magnet Kitchens, this was actually something we did during COVID. They had a very paper-based system where people who wanted to buy a kitchen on trade, it was like a 5-day application process. We built them an application process which was all online, integrated with Experian for instant credit checking, integrated with their SAP system to actually create the account, and it used Marketo for communications. For these guys, we help them through this process get an increase in customer growth of 350%, an average saving by getting rid of this paper-based system and all of the admin that involved of over 100,000, and a significant increase in repeats through that communication through Marketo. And we still did tests on this because, you know, it doesn't matter what we think as experts and as 18-year experts, we obviously understand a lot about best practice, but it's only when software goes out in the field that you really see how good it is and how much better it could be. So we will deploy some software, we'll leave it for a few months, and then we'll start this monitoring and testing process to make sure that we've got it going as well as it can, or we'll test to try and improve it. We've now started a hospital in Sheffield 3 weeks ago. We did an exercise for a client with some software where we were using head-mounted cameras to understand eye tracking. So as much as we monitor user behavior in the software, that's clicks and scrolls and stuff, what we really also want to know is what the person does before they click and scroll, you know, because you could be duped into thinking there's a problem with the software because it's taking somebody ages to go through a form, but they've gone and made a cup of tea or the phone's rung or something like that. So having eye tracking is really advanced, and it's something we're doing more of. We've got a shopping centre project in Hemel Hempstead coming up later on, just after Christmas, where we're trying to understand, because we're doing software development for them, but we're going to help them to understand the shoppers and how they find what they're looking for quickly or not. So what is CRO? So this is just an example here. So as you can see, we've got 2 versions. The change that we did was really, really simple. We moved the add to basket higher. So the original version is on the left. The new version is on the right. It's a really, really simple change, but we made it so that it was very, very clear. The add to basket button was previously too low down, and it wasn't. This was a test where I think for us, a lot of simple changes can lead to much more value. And in just 3 months, this test generated 62 more conversions, an additional nearly £80,000 worth of revenue. So it's incredibly simple stuff. I mean, often there's some glaring problems, but often there's just more simple things. So this is showing you the full graphic, but previously the add to basket button was below the fold on mobile. So people weren't getting to it or weren't seeing it as easily as they might have done. So a simple change like this had a massive benefit to this client. Safe style windows, original version was at the top. We made the 0% interest-free credit much more visible. That made a massive difference in engagement, and we got 57 more conversions in a month. But more importantly, on the mobile, by moving the get a free quote to the top of the mobile aperture, making the interest-free credit sort of a little bit more friendly, round, sort of sat in a sphere is the promotion. You know, less cluttered image wise, you know, that delivered an additional £171,000 worth of revenue for SafeStyle in a month. Now, these are big numbers, but the businesses are generating big numbers. And I think that all of these changes can be done for small um, traffic generating sites, and they will have a percentage value. But the bigger the business and the bigger the higher the volume of traffic that they're getting, the more of an impact that change makes in terms of the pound notes. But the percentage benefit is the same, whatever size of business. And this just finally, Trust Electric Heating, their original form was, so it's not fine, I've got one more on the left-hand side. It was matching their brand. It was all red, but it was like, a red says no, it's not an inviting color. They wanted to retain the red. So we use the book of my consultation now on the version that we did on the right-hand side. That led to 12% more conversions for them. And the last one, Radar Healthcare. So these guys have a healthcare application that we do all of their digital marketing and website development for. Their call to action is booking a demo. We help them to increase their demo bookings by tenfold by simply the version on the right hand side having a floating form. So wherever you were on that page, seeing all of the trust signals that we'd added in, you could always get to that book a demo. And just finally, what we're interested in it, we're sector agnostic, we do B2B, B2C. The sectors that we're looking and we currently work with are displayed there, but ultimately we're looking for businesses that expect more leads and sales from their digital assets. I've gone through a lot there, but I've got to say, small changes can make a huge difference, but you should always test them first. Any questions? Oh, don't want that flashing really. Sorry, there's a bit of animation left on there. Sorry if that's blagging you. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question. It was really good. I'm sold, by the way. Um, I was just wondering, like, over what kind of time frame do you achieve those results? So if we look at like Bathrooms Direct, over what time frame did you achieve that?
So those sets of data. Sorry, I hope that's not really annoying everyone, but should I stop sharing?
Is anybody epileptic?
Um, so yeah, so those three slides of data that was over a 12-month period.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
but when we're doing split testing, you can see, you need enough traffic to be able to not think the test is winning when really it's just a random set of people. You need, depending on the traffic, you might need a test to run for a month before you can say definitively by changing the website that's going to perform better than what's currently there.
Yeah, cool. No, sounds great.
Andrew, great presentation. Thank you very much. That was really informative. Can I ask what kind of turnover business would make an ideal client for you?
I mean, we're typically working for businesses that are turning over £1 million plus. I mean, I think an ideal client where we can really go to town and add an absolutely massive value is when they're in the £10 million plus bracket, because they're getting enough traffic. There is you make a 0.1% impact to their conversions, and it's going to deliver huge pound note value, which always pays for what we do. But we're an integrated digital agency. This people find this sort of stuff interesting, but in the sort of more standard way of what we work, we develop standard websites. Not everybody needs to have testing, but they should always have marketing, because, like I said at the start, why have a website or app if you're not using it to get you more value? It's almost like it's a waste of money. And why you wouldn't have a shop or a business if you didn't understand who was coming in and what they wanted. So why do people have websites where they don't know who's on their website and what they're doing and what they might be interested in?
Yeah, no, perfect. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi.
I think one of the questions, or one of the things I'm seeing now, is the increase. We all know we've got AI becoming more and more prevalent. And I'm also seeing, if we run a search in Google, you're seeing an AI response at the top. So how is that starting to impact? And as a consequence, will it make websites less important rather than lead pages?
No, it's actually really exciting, because when you do search engine optimization, traditionally it's all about Google. It's like, you rank at #1 on Bing, but nobody uses Bing. But now we've almost got like 4 additional search engines. We've got ChatGPT, we've got Gemini, they're search engines. if you do search engine optimization properly, and that is you pose a question and you deliver a return, in terms of the content, so you write a blog, you should always be nice sections, posing questions, providing an answer. That's what Google's always loved about content. And I think that AI is meaning that businesses that have got high search engine positions because they've done lots of link building and all of this stuff in the past, they're screwed because they might retain their position, but they're so low down the fold now that they're not going to they're getting nowhere near the traffic that they were before. But when you do search engine optimization properly, as we do, we find in all of our clients are now appearing in the on the if you go to the AI search, we're getting all of our monitoring monitors AI results as well as Google and Bing results as well now, and we're seeing the same positions for the work that we do. So I think it's always a good thing when things come in that shake up the market, because it always gets rid of practice.
Brilliant. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks.